Hi, welcome to the Taco Cast. I'm Crystal.
I'm Will.
You're our audience, and thank you for joining us today. I hope everybody is having a lovely weekend.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about bees.
Kind of. Today we're going to talk about insects.
Insects?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Insects? I don't like insects.
Invertebrates are an important part
Oh.
of our ecology.
Oh,
Yeah. They're food for
Why?
other animals.
okay.
Yeah. They clean up the environment. Some estimates say that the entire African savanna would be covered in crap if it wasn't for the efforts of the humble dung beetle. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Eating
Thank
and
you
living
for
in
starting
poo
off with that.
for you.
Mm.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, insects are important, but a lot of people don't like bugs.
I don't like bugs.
Yeah. I myself am a member of the Xerces Society for the Conservation of Invertebrates,
Okay.
including bees.
Zersky. you say.
Xerces Society, yeah. And what I actually wanted to kind of gear our conversation towards a little bit was citizen science projects.
Oh, what's that?
Citizen science projects are things that people that don't even necessarily have to have a strong background in the sciences, something that the whole community can join in.
Why is that important?
Well, community involvement, well, let me bust out the projector and the PowerPoint because I've got an hour and a half long presentation. No, I don't. From my personal point of view, I think citizen science projects are important because I think getting community involvement helps bring science to people. This ties into an issue that I've had with academia for a long time, is that it becomes farther and farther divorced from people, and then people in academic circles act surprised when the average person that you're talking to has no idea what you're talking about, and thusly,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, and thusly is not very interested in what you have to say because you're not correlating it to anything. They have a friend of mine who has a very strong background in anthropology, and one of the conversations that we've often had is that people in academics are using terms, phrases that everyone else is operating under a different definition of. And so then academics are coming to the average citizen and they're like, blah, 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 blah. And people are like, that's not what I think. And then academics push back and they're like, well, you're wrong. Well, yes and no. We can't change language and then expect other people to not do it. And we can't operate, we have to involve people because ultimately our work is about people. And bringing that background to science, citizen science projects we have to involve people because our work is about people, and you can't get investment from people unless they're a part of it and they see what's going on and they can feel it and be involved. And I think that that's important.
Okay.
So go do it right now. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
Is this something that's done just here in America, or?
No, there are citizen science projects the world over.
Oh, really?
For a variety of different organizations. You've got ones for astrological associations. I said that wrong. Whatever. You've got entomologists, botanists. There's all kinds of citizen science projects. The bulk of them are identification and location projects, which means you're going about your day. You've got your cell phone with you. Let's take bees, for instance. Who thought of that one? The Xerces Society has a citizen science project for bumblebees. And so you're going about your day, you got your cell phone, you see a bumble, you take a picture of it, and you put it up there along with the day and the time and where you were at. And so they have a map of bumblebee sightings and what kind of bumblebee. And certain species of bumblebee are endangered. And so this kind of helps to give researchers a really good idea of where they're at. Are they moving? Changes in climate do change insect behavior patterns, so maybe we're not seeing them in their traditional habitat anymore, but maybe that's because they've moved. When we have a whole country mobilized to document where they're at and where they're seeing them and when they're seeing them, then we can get a much better picture than just sending 5 or 6 people out into the field and being like, bring me back photos of bumblebees. Which, by the way, that's a gross mischaracterization of what happens, but
What do bumblebees do?
A lot of drinking. Yeah, they're very...
They drink a lot.
No.
There's like a bumblebee bar.
Yeah.
They all just...
Bumblebees are very important pollinators. And then they pollinate a different variety of plants than do other bees. There's some competition. There's some flowers that all the bees are wanting to get a piece of, but there's like tomatoes. My honeybees do not like tomatoes. The bumblebees love them. So.
I mean, without the bumblebee, would we be able to get tomatoes?
Without the bumblebee, we would be able to get tomatoes, but it would be more difficult. In fact, large growers, you can purchase bumblebees commercially, and some large growers purchase bumblebee hives to pollinate their crops.
So, do we get honey from bumblebees?
We do not get honey from bumblebees. Unlike honeybees, which overwinter, and so that's where that honey that we get, they go out, they collect the nectar, they bring it in, it condenses down, and there's extra because they're consuming it in the winter. They store way more than they'll actually consume, which is why you can safely harvest a little bit of honey from a healthy hive and not stress it because they still have enough winter stores to get through. Unlike honeybees, bumblebees don't overwinter. The queen will lay her eggs, and then the queen will die. And then the next spring, those eggs will hatch, and you will have a brand new crop of baby bumbles. They're also a ground nester, which is why, while they're very, very gentle, you can literally, pet the bumble and then send it on its way.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Isn't it going to sting you?
Mm-mm. No, they're very gentle. I mean, anything will attack, even bumblebees, if they feel threatened. So if you're like, come here, bumblebee, it's probably going to sting you. But they're a very gentle bee. But they are ground nesters, so they will come out and sting people if you're traipsing along on the ground and you happen to thump over their nest. They will come out and sting people. Dogs, cats. They have a tendency to nest in abandoned rodent dens, abandoned snake dens, pretty much any hole in the ground that something has vacated, a bumble can nest in. Some people make bumblebee nests using partially buried clay pots, which some people think is effective. If you want bumblebees, but you want to control where they're nesting, then you make an attractive habitat for them, and ideally they will go there rather than just winding up somewhere on your lawn so that you accidentally mow them over.
Yeah, that's not good if you mow them over.
Mm-mm. Well, you wouldn't actually mow them over. You'd mow over at the top of their nest, but then they'd get pissed and they'd come out and everybody would have a bad day.
Huh?
Yeah.
Do bumblebees and honeybees get along?
They do. Yeah, they do.
So are they beneficial to each other?
I wouldn't necessarily say that they're beneficial to each other, but they don't... they do consume some of the same flowers, but there's also a wide variety of flowers that they each consume. So while they don't necessarily benefit each other, they don't really compete. Also, if one takes the larger, more global view in that both of them acting together, creates a healthy environment. Although most people don't realize this, the honeybee is not native to the Americas.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd it come from?
The honeybee came from Europe and were brought over by early settlers to the United States. A lot of honeybee hives died in transit, some survived, and honeybees just don't always do what they're told, and they will just take off and do whatever. Honeybee colonies escaped, or absconded, ahead of settlers. So even though settlers to the United States brought honeybees from Europe, the honeybees fucked off and did their own thing and colonized the United States well ahead of settlers.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of entomologists use the term fucked off and did their own thing, but it's accurate. It's what happened.
Okay. I didn't need you to repeat it, but okay. Uh, so, Zersky Society, getting back to that.
Xerces Society, yes.
Zersky?
Yeah, I think you're putting a K in there.
Zerky?
Xerces.
Xerxes.
Yeah.
Xerces.
Xerces. Xerces Society.
Xerces Society.
Yeah.
And these, you said that there are ways for people to volunteer around the world.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
them.
Oh, not necessarily with the Xerces Society. Their citizen science projects are mainly in the Americas and Canada. Canada's in the Americas. I don't know why I spent the Americas and Canada, which is also in the Americas.
Okay.
But there's lots of other citizen science projects from different organizations, including invertebrate conservation groups.
So back to what I was trying to say about the volunteering worldwide. You said
Yes.
Now, does it cost money to sign up to volunteer
No.
for these things?
Well, I haven't checked all of them out, but most citizen science projects are going to be free. The only thing that it's going to take is your time.
Okay. And it's important for.
I personally think it's important for a variety of things. I think it's important to advance scientific knowledge, but I also think it's important to individuals to get involved and be a part of science. And it can also be a fun family project, something to do with the kiddos, especially in the land of social distancing. You might not be able to get together and hang out with your friends, but you and the kids can go take your cell phones and go down to the park and hunt bumblebees and take pictures of them.
But not hurt them.
Yeah, don't hurt them.
Okay. I mean, are there other insects that the scientific community wants to do this for? Or?
Butterflies, dragonflies, a variety of insects.
Okay. Butterflies?
Yeah.
I like butterflies. Butterflies are they're cute.
Mm-hmm. Butterflies are cute. They're adorable.
All right. I'm not a big fan of moths, so.
Why not?
Because they don't have the cool colors, like a butterfly.
Oh, I think you're being mean to the moths. They serve an important function.
I guess I'm moth racist.
I think they'd be speciesist.
Speciesist?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess. I just don't like moths.
Yeah, they didn't do anything to you.
I know, that's the problem.
Okay.
No, I kid, but it's not. It's not that I don't like moths. It's just they don't ever do anything for me.
I don't think it makes it better.
Well, isn't that what people do? I mean, we only allow things to live on this earth if they are beneficial to us.
I think you're kind of right, and yeah, that's one of my big issues with big game hunting, other than the fact that I think big game hunting is something that people who are concerned about their size of the genitals do. But I don't know. I was raised in a family of hunters, but in my family, you ate what you killed, and you only killed what you needed. And there's no need to go shoot an elephant from the back of a fucking Jeep at 500 yards away. There's no need for that. It offends my sensibilities. But I also do recognize that big game hunting does a lot for the world of conservation. The money spent on big game hunting helps conserve habitat for animals. Oftentimes the animals that are hunted are given to local communities and they are consumed. But it also comes down to why do animals have to be beneficial to humans to exist? I get it. We're the most successful invasive species on the planet. I guess everything has to bow down to us, but it rankles a little bit. Like, oh, well, we got to kill occasional lions because they got to earn their keep. Fucking why? They were here before us. If it wasn't for the fact that we had guns, they would eat us. Like, we're not... Anyway. I have opinions.
You do? You definitely do have opinions. And you, Okay, moving on. So, back to Zersky Society and Xerces.
There you go, man.
I swear I thought it was called the Xerxes Society, and the different projects. So I'm looking at on the Wikipedia. We'll link this article, the Wikipedia page, in the description of the video for this podcast, and you can go there and you can actually there's a whole list of different ones. And it breaks it down by the different disciplines, project name, sponsor organizations, where they are in the world, when they began, the actual project began. I had a lot of them here.
And they're all over the world. So even our international viewers, if
Yeah.
you're interested in participating in a citizen science project, there's a huge variety of stuff for you to choose from, different disciplines in different areas. Biology, computer science.
Well, this one here in the UK started in 1970.
Oh,
It's climatology. Observe. And just need somebody just to watch the weather.
stare at the weather. Tell me what
That's
you
all
saw.
they're looking for. Just stare at the weather and tell us what's happening. This one started in 1890.
Damn. Well, that's
They've
from
been
the-
around for a long
the
time.
National Weather Service.
Meteorology. But
Condor Watch.
yeah,
That's California, obviously. The California Condor. but-
astronomy, decompression psychology. What? Oh, that's for a diver.
Decompressing physiology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For diving.
That's for people in Europe and Africa.
UK, US, worldwide. A lot of these are listed as worldwide. They need people all over the world. North America, Japan, Hong Kong. It doesn't matter where you are. Malaysia, Australia. What's the one in Australia? What is that? Nature Mapper.
Koala count.
Yeah, well, that's probably really important.
Especially
after the bushfire.
Yeah.
You really need people to go out and count the koalas right now. Especially after the fires they had. It was just tragic. I mean, I could. I'm not even halfway down through the page yet. There's a lot of them. But
And a lot of these overlap. A lot of these groups are contributing to the same project. So, like the Xerxes Society's Bumblebee Watch is coordinated with a group in Canada. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but so a lot of them are inter. They're I can English. I have words.
okay, use your big girl words.
I don't got no big girl words right now.
No big girl words.
I haven't even had one whole cup of coffee yet.
Oh, maybe you should drink a couple more.
Great. Then we're gonna drive over to pick up our niece and just vibrate off the road if I have too much coffee.
Okay. Probably not a good thing. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it. Bo, I would like to say though, for our viewers, if you are interested in this and you scroll through that list and you find something that strikes your fancy and you want to start checking out, let us know.
Yeah, leave a comment down below if there's something that you find on there that is interesting to you, or you would like to volunteer with.
Yeah.
And there are literally, it's got to be hundreds of them here, of different ones you can click on. But sign up for to help. All right. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And this is definitely a shorter episode than what we normally do. But we wanted to. We didn't really have a spot in another podcast to squeeze this in.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fit with the other topics that we've covered.
And we do know that we promised you guys an update on COVID vaccine. That will be coming. That was supposed to be this episode, but we're still doing a little bit of research on that. And unfortunately, we're not able to secure our guest that we were hoping for. So, a little disappointed, but
Well, just like life, you move on.
Move forward.
Adapt and overcome. Hoorah! All right. Bye, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye,
Thank you
guys.
again. Again, the link to the different things that you can volunteer with around the world will be linked in the video description below. Please give this a thumbs up Like, share, comment down below. We
Share us with
appreciate
your
it.
friends.
Yeah,
We're lonely.
we are. Really